It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. Always a pleasure, and I mean that, to be here with Kenny and Shaq. Our game tonight featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers as they go up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. And Al Jefferson, an offensive presence when he's on the floor, heading into the back end of his career now, but still putting up good numbers. Kenny, just what does he bring to the table as a player?
Well, he's a guy that you have to double in a low block. You know, if you play him one-on-one, he's tough to deal with. So he draws lots of attention. He gets up. He gets fouled. He can shoot free throws. He is a load in the box.
You know, he's older now, doesn't command the same amount of touches as he did when he was younger. But Big Al always puts that work in on offense. That's why I nicknamed him Baby Fundamentals.
Baby fundamentals.
Sort of like Tim Duncan, but he's Baby Fundamentals.
That does it for us for now. We'll see you later.
The Pacers look to take charge. We're going to bring it to you here from Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And just a single game trip away from Cleveland for the Cavaliers. Well, they're entering a bit of a soft spot in their schedule, facing off guys against some of the lower-ranked teams in the league. And we'll see if they're able to take advantage and have their win total.
You know, for some teams, it takes a little time to get into a groove, to find the traction you need to start the season, but not for this squad. I mean, they've been playing like they have a chip on their shoulder. I like the edge I see out of them.
Yeah, I like it too, man. I mean, playing like they're out to prove a point every night, really taking it at their opponents.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Cleveland, LeBron and Love, the two superstar forwards. Sharpshooters Irving and J.R. Smith are the backcourt duo. And it's Thompson in at the 5. And here is Irving. After Paul George getting his 3 to go. Count the basket.
This is why I love his game. You really have to admire his tenacity.
Pulls it up. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. George has got 5.
Boy, the confidence that George brings to his game is also confidence that impacts and injects his teammates. He's a high-octane scorer who's ready to go as soon as the game starts and whenever he gets the ball.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
And right off the bat, Greg, it looks like that A game is exactly what he brought.
And after that contract stalemate that just seemed to drag on forever last offseason, the Cavs were finally able to re-sign Tristan Thompson to that extension, 5 years and a little over $80 million. It was a protracted negotiation, but I think...
I love that. Yes, indeedy.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Jefferson with some nice D.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
The baseline J. That's good for George on the assist by Jefferson. 7 points for George.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Second shot opportunity, and Jefferson sends it back. And George, here we go, lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
Offensively, it's been a perfect quarter for him. He hasn't missed a single shot.
And stolen by Jeff T. Jefferson kicks to George. With the shot. And again, it's Indiana converting.
And you could tell Teague was looking for a shot on that play. Always had his hands up, ready to catch and fire.
George against LeBron. Young with the steal. And now, here comes Young leading the break. George, no good. The Cavaliers trail by 3. James outside. He kicks to Thompson. Back to James. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
And Jefferson throws it down.
Yeah, nice unselfishness by George, zipping the ball to one of his guys as soon as he sees him open to get the shot off.
Irving kicks to LeBron. Back to Irving. Feeds it to James. Pass to Thompson. Ball's knocked loose. George against LeBron. Right side George. Jeff. Oh,
man.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there. When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the first title in franchise history, upsetting the favorites, the Golden State Warriors. First time ever a team returned from a 3-1 deficit in the finals to win.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. And GA, the Cavs are now the hunted team. Do you like their chances of repeating as champions?
I think they've got as good a chance as anyone, and probably better because they really have owned the East. If they can stay healthy, no reason to think they can't do it again.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Channing Frye's checked in for Johnson. Jefferson comes in for Kevin Love. Amon Shumpert's checked in for Smith, and it's Williams in for Irving. The feed now to Miles. The pass to Allen. Indiana moving the ball around. Young dishes to Turner. Throws it down. If the official calls the foul, it may be a three-point play. It's called on Channing Frye.
Oh, you can't let Turner get that deep inside. When you do, he's going to abuse you with a throwdown right on top of your head.
In a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Here's James, and the rebound goes to the Pacers. Last game matched up with the Magic. Tough loss there.
It wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense, or bad if you don't execute them. Shooting is just a byproduct of not screening well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession.
And you can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Young outside. Pass to Miles. Plenty of space.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Yeah, they're scoring with confidence, Greg, making them count in the early going here.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the 10s to get out and run, and we can see right there why he does.
And there's Mo Williams on the assist by James. Williams has got it back down to single digits for the Cavs. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Pacers.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and still to this day, that's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And that kind of relentless determination is something Monte is known for. And one of the reasons he's been around for a decade in the NBA as a consistently good player.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Pacers so far, guys.
They came out with the purpose of playing for one another, making the extra pass throughout that first quarter.
Guys, that is simply just good basketball. I mean, really good basketball. Total team effort out there.
On the floor for Cleveland getting going here in the second. It's Robin Fry, the sharp-shooting big man. Kyrie Irving is out there with the March jumper, and it's Jefferson in at the small forward position. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, LeBron James has stepped up over the years, both on and off the court. Of course, he plays with that reckless abandon, but off the floor, he's been very involved and vocal about social issues. And more dramatically, he entrusted his marketing empire to his childhood friends. People called it the worst decision ever. All this to three guys who didn't finish college. We got dirt thrown on all of us, but I always believed in him. Kevin, you can't say it hasn't worked out.
He's broken the mold, D.A. Thank you. And that one falls for Turner.
Miles Turner, the 11th overall pick last season out of the University of Texas, only spent one season in college. But this guy very well could be a perennial all-star. The Pacers think they've gotten a steal. He was a 19-year-old rookie who showed he already understands how to hold his own at both ends of the floor.
Stuckey passes to Young. To the middle and stolen by Fry. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
And Indiana making a change here. Teague's checked in. Teague against Irving. Passes to Jefferson. Tipped away. He dishes it to Love. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fry. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Fry's got his first 2 points of the night. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Now here's Teague. He's coming off a 10-point game against Orlando.
And how about how opportunistic he was defensively? Steal after steal for him in that game just showed the quickness of his hands and anticipation. And I love that Teague didn't slow up when he got inside and went right in and drew the foul.
And with the emergence of Dennis Schroeder as a viable starting point guard in Atlanta, the stage was set for Jeff Teague to be traded elsewhere.
Yeah, and Teague is a player who rightfully drew a lot of interest around the league. An athletic slasher and dangerous pick-and-roll operator. You knew he'd land on his feet.
Paul George, he's checked in for Indiana. Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Smith comes in for Shumpert. And so Teague gets 2 free throws.
And as you would expect from the way he plays, Teague is a terrific free throw shooter.
And the Cavaliers call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
It's a pick by Love. Irving kicks to Thompson. 17-foot shot on the way. And it's off the back rim. No good. Teague drives in. Young outside for 3. That one's not going to go. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And then in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
From deep, George. Jefferson with some nice deep. The Cavaliers trail by 11. Irving for 3. Another miss by Irving. Here's George. That fall. Nice speed that time from Turner. And it's 13 points for Paul George.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
A nice shot by Irving.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Pacers leading by 10. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, a lot of players grew up playing against older, bigger players. For Paul George, it was his older sister, Tiasha, who stands 6'4". She used to beat him up so badly on the court, it would bring him to tears. Wow. Turnabout is fair play, though. Younger brother is hooping at an all-star level now.
Al Jefferson's checked in for Thaddeus Young. Cleveland also making some changes. James comes in for Richard Jefferson. And Mo Williams subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Indiana's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Teague with a clean look. And the 3-ball is good. Teague's got 7. And you think about Paul George's amateur career, he was recruited to bigger schools, but he decided to go to Fresno State. He wanted that lead role.
And you still see that hunger for that lead role here in the NBA. He wants to be the alpha dog. He wants to take on the pressure and responsibility of being a franchise player. More importantly than wanting that responsibility and platform is making sure you put the work in to handle it. And I think he has done that, so he deserves the title. He's every bit the Pacers franchise player.
The Cavaliers trail by 13. Here's James. The teardrop falls in. He's got 11.
How about that cloth soft touch? I mean, just a gentle little teardrop, almost like a falling leaf. A leaf falling down slowly to the ground. Very sweet and colorful, too.
George dishes to Turner. George with the ball. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
clearly he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Allen's checked in for Turner. Stuckey comes in for Ellis. And Joseph Young subbed in for T. And here is LeBron. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Toronto.
And don't forget his unbelievable steal total in that game. I mean, almost to the point they didn't want to bring the ball up the floor.
Yep, that one goes.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Pacers leading by 11. It's George on the wing. James covering. Fires from the corner. George missing again.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Here's Williams. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Ramon Shumpert is checked in for Smith. That's good from Williams.
And the Pacers, you know, going smaller in their front court, it hasn't really hurt them defensively. You look around the NBA, there just aren't that many power forwards who can hurt you on the block like in the old days.
He hit 1-3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Outside jumper. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. James outside. And easy 2 points on the way. LeBron's got 15.
I mean, he was great in his last game. Clearly, he has not lost that love and feel.
Yeah, you know, he's got stupendous spurt ability, Greg. I know you like that one, don't you? Those spurts tend to go on for a while with him.
Yeah, did you trademark spurt ability yet?
Yeah, I tried to, man, but it didn't get any life. Although I see a lot, and I hear a lot of guys using it, but they do give me credit for it.
And the first half is now in the books. Pacers out in front. They lead by 8. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks a lot. LeBron, are you getting the ball where you want to get it, and is that helping you score?
I'm very pleased with my individual performance right now, but not so pleased with how I'm trying to help our teammates. I got to do a better job of trying to get our teammates in the flow as well as keep myself in a good group too. So hopefully I can do a better job of that in the second half.
We'll see how it goes. Thanks, LeBron. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 14 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Pacers?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
Kenny, let's get your insight on Cleveland.
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
That's it for now, as the second half is just about ready to go. We, and I mean the three of us, will be right here after the final buzzer.
And we return to Indianapolis, Indiana, with a look at all the activity taking place in this terrific downtown. And now the third quarter about to get going.
What a game for LeBron. 15 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more.
Pacers leading by 8. Monte and George filling out the perimeter. Young out there with Jefferson, and it's Teague in at the point guard. They're the group for Nate McMillan. Start the second half. Got that bucket. George has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Pacers.
Boy, George is excellent at getting busy from the in-between spots of the floor. Really fleshing out and balancing out, rounding out his offensive game.
Irving's shot is good.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Yeah, I think some of the players, Greg, quite honestly, are heavy legged. I mean, they don't seem to have been warmed up effectively here to start the second half.
George missing again.
Yeah, and listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
And Paul George formerly wore the jersey number 24. Sports writers suggested he should go with the number 13, so his nickname could be PG-13. George liked the idea, so he did it.
Yeah, and the more superstitious among us might wonder if he brought himself some bad luck with that number, but it is an auspicious number for him. Of course, back in 2013, he won Most Improved Player and made his first All-Star appearance. But I think the story is true. The fact that PG, in an effort to brand himself a certain way, wanted to be viewed as agreeable to all viewing parties.
And Indiana making a change here. Miles is checked in.
If you go back 3 seasons, the Cavs, they had the second youngest roster in the league. 2 consecutive number 1 overall picks. And then fast forward to the present, this is a veteran-laden team with its sights squarely set on championships.
That free throw good from Al Jefferson. And think about that 2014 draft. The Cavs had less than a 2% chance with the number 1 pick, and somehow they land Wiggins.
Yeah, and who can know if LeBron comes back to Cleveland without that asset? Sometimes Lady Luck smiles on you. The Ohio faithful grateful for some good fortune after over 50 years of waiting for a title.
A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Indiana.
And not a lot of attempts from beyond the break. Those deeper three-pointers can be a little outside of some players' range, but they've got guys who can make that shot. I think that's just an outlier so far.
The Cavaliers trail by 10. James outside. The screen from Thompson. LeBron kicks to Smith. That's good from 17 feet away. Smith's got 8 points. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Teague, the pass to Jefferson. Miles dishes to Jefferson. Teague for 3. Buries it from three-point range. He's got 10.
If you give Teague enough room out there beyond the arc, he won't hesitate to make you pay.
Outside Irving. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
The second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Teague against Irving. Teague kicks to Ellis. To the wing right side. On deep, Miles. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Ellis has got his 4th assist in this one. The Cavaliers trail by 11. The screen from Thompson. And on the way from Irving for 3. No good. He's missed 3, and he's made 4 of his 7. Here's Miles. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, you know, C.J. Miles was drafted right out of high school back in 2005 and has over a decade in the league now and really in his prime as an NBA player. He's a quality swing man, can give you good minutes whether he's starting or coming off the bench.
Free throw good, Miles. And Miles swinging to the power forward position defensively. We saw that throughout last season as the Pacers guys look to go small from time to time.
And, you know, the power forward position, not his best position defensively. Guys, his defense has improved overall in recent years, but his metrics defensively suffered because he was, in many cases, overmatched from a size standpoint. Offensively, he's a streaky shooter who can get it going from the three-point line and take you off the bounce in the paint.
Turner passes to Miles. In the corner, Stuckey with it. Indiana moving the ball around. And Young kicks to Stuckey. Young outside. Just 5 on the clock. And Young slams it home.
You know, when he gets that close, Young is going to finish with a dunk.
Here's the dish to Smith. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Pacers leading by 9. Here's Turner outside for Miles. Young outside. Back to Miles. He feeds it to Turner. Dishes to Young. That falls. Nice speed that time from Turner. And the Pacers lead by 11.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Irving dishes to James. We've got 1:55 left here in the third quarter. A putback. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Stuckey kicks to Miles. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
The stroke from Miles is really a nice-looking stroke. I mean, it's one of the more reliable shots in the game. He's one of the better shooters we have in the association.
Outside Irving. And it's off from three-point range. And the Pacers going with the smaller lineup, too, but they've remained an elite team defensively. Guys, how have they done it?
Well, not so much about their shot blocking or rim protecting as it was in the past. More about their perimeter defense. One of the best in the league at forcing turnovers and defending the three-point shot. And ironically, despite all the pressure they apply, they do a good job of keeping the ball in front most times.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going.
Neither did the defense.
Smith kicks to Irving. Baseline try. Again, Irving missing.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
It's stolen by Jefferson. The drive by James. It's rebounded by Indiana. Turner's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. And Young kicks to Turner. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Turner's got 12 points in the game. The Cavaliers trail by 17. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. And so far are going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
Count that one.
Sound offensively. Really no other way to put it here in the second half.
There's really no comparison between the teams in terms of the way they both shot the ball since the break.
Now Irving. From downtown. Good on the three-point shot. 13 points in the game. Stuckey. The shot comes out. And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. We've got Jefferson. Amon Shepard is out there with Mo Williams. Then there's Tristan Thompson. And it's Fry in at the four slot.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg just with the doctor ordered us some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
The Cavaliers trail by 12. Here's Shepard. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Turner with a screen for George. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Here's George. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. It's stolen by Jefferson. The Cavaliers, another fast break opportunity here. And that one's good. Shumpert. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
That's all about the ticker for Turner. Big heart, the real juggernaut on the boards who uses those long arms exceedingly well to get second chance opportunities.
Nobody near Williams. Off target from outside.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense is taking a big chance, leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Allen passes to George. Jefferson with some nice D.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Kicks to Fry. Feeds it to Williams. Poked away. One left side. And it's George missing.
And he's clearly just disappeared here this quarter, not making any contributions here with his offense.
And Greg, it's been hard to watch. I mean, you can see his frustration. He's actually looking forward to the end of this period so we can have a fresh start for the next one.
From beyond the arc. Allen kicks to George. Takes a three. And the three ball is good. George has got 19 points.
First three of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Shumpert against Ducky. Outside Jefferson. Back to Fry. The screen from Thompson. Williams for three. Thompson. And there's Thompson putting it right back in. Thompson's got 4 points in the quarter.
They're finding lanes into the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Timeout called. Cleveland. Paul George really making a difference here.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
Jefferson's checked in for Indiana. Cleveland also making some changes. LeBron's checked in for Jefferson. Smith comes in for Shumpert. And Irving subbed in for Mo Williams. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, during the last break, I heard Tyronn Lue talking with his team. He said, fellas, I know you're tired, but you can't coast now. You've got to go harder. This game is in sight. We've got to power through and get it. Words from the champion. Back to you.
And showing some terrific range. 24 points for George.
Hey, leaving Paul George loose at the three-point line is a big mistake. He's good behind the arc. He actually is one of the better three-point shooters in the league.
Smith, no luck. Pacers leading by 12. Expanding his range. That's good for George on the assist by Jefferson. Jefferson's got 3 assists tonight. Young against Irving. Steps back and fires. It's rebounded by Jefferson.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with a miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him.
Young with no one around. And Indiana, another 3.
And if you thought this game was over already, you're probably right.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's staring us right in the face, and we've been around long enough to know when the game is over. And this one is in that category.
And George with the stop.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Indiana.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for George. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Young with the steal. And Young with the stop.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of serve.
And you look at the star trio in Cleveland of LeBron, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. Greg, how do you like the way those three fit together?
I think their skills complement one another. I mean, Irving can take ball handling responsibility off of LeBron's shoulders. Love rebounds, hits threes, and has good complementary skills. Chemistry, though, is more complicated. Sometimes LeBron has seemed critical of Love's play.
Chris Anderson is checked in for Cleveland. James Jones comes in for J.R. Smith. Young from outside, and the Pacers another three.
And you can sense the fact that they didn't want to let the fans down here. It's been a fun night to be in the building.
Greg, it really has been. I mean, such a lively, vibrant atmosphere, and no doubt that played a part in the big win.
They set the pick. Williams dishes to Fry. 6 on the shot clock. Jones kicks to Fry. For 3, Williams gets it to go from beyond the arc.
It's like they forgot that anybody else is on the floor. They're just going at each other right now.
I know it's a team game, but every now and then, guys detour into the one-on-one action that we've got on our hands right now.
Young for 3, no good. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly. The other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go. And once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where is your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looks like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Paul George. He lit up the scoreboard in the first quarter. Defenders tried to make adjustments, but were woefully unsuccessful. Clearly, his outburst set the tone for the rest of the evening.
It's rare that a player can have as much of an impact from the wing as Paul George can. After that horrific injury, this guy, who is he? Where'd you get the leg from? Can I order one on the internet too? His range, defensive ability, and athleticism, he's a guy you can shape a franchise around.
Oh, he found the stroke from deep, nailed 4 3-pointers and looked good doing it. And that kept the defense from being able to collapse inside. Great overall effort by this guy.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, spectacular, just great. I mean, see you.
Good night.